Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about wave sampling and how you can take a waveform from a bassline that you might really like or a different sound that you really like and use it for your own sound. It's a little bit of a difficult process to sometimes get right, and it sometimes might not work if there's a lot of modulation going on, but in some cases it's very useful to get a cool sound. So without further ado, let's get right into that. Alright, so the reason why I was doing this is I was asked to remake the bass pattern from Turbulence by Kova, Freakout and Phantom. So I'll have you listen to their track for a little bit and then we'll go into my recreation. So this is their version of it. And here is my version. So I had no clue, to be honest, how you would make the exact kind of tone and sound from this bassline. So what I did is I looked for a clean waveform, for example here. And as you can see, this waveform kind of is made out of multiple of the same cycles, right? So we have these cycles here. Now what you can do, let's take one of these cycles here. Let's use, for example, this point. There's this point here that is very handy for us to kind of take and just chop up. Let's go there, take that and then put it on a new track, and we'll try to perfect this here. Maybe like this, something like this. So we now have a single cycle of that waveform. And now we can just import this as a Serum wavetable, which is what I did. So you can take one of those cycles. If you notice that the sound you're trying to recreate is made out of these kind of cycles, you can see it's basically the same waveform repeating constantly. You can just chop one out and put that into a Serum. So that's what I did. So if we look at it, you can see it's just a Serum with a wavetable loaded and a little bit of a compressor to kind of get the kind of drive back again. Without the compressor, it sounds a little bit less driven, and it also adds a lot to the volume, which also helps, of course. But basically, all that's going on is that we're loading up a single cycle of this waveform that we have up there, and we're running it through a compressor, and then we're just adding a sidechain. The other thing I was doing is playing with the pitch bend, because I noticed in some cases, there was a little bit of a pitch bend dip like sound in there. So I tried to emulate that in those cases there. So that's also what I did here. A little bit of a minor detail. So for the actual recreation, it doesn't really matter a lot. But that's all that I wanted to show for this kind of thing. I think it's a really cool technique, but it's not very useful in most cases, because most of the time you have a lot of modulation and stuff like that. So the thing you're trying to recreate doesn't really exist out of a single cycle continuously repeating. But still, you might be able to find a place where you can apply this technique to make a cool sound, maybe even try to sample something that has no clearly repeating waveform, but trying to remake the modulation, stuff like that. So that's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed this technique and you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. But that's going to be it for today. Bye bye.